Hi everyone, welcome back to our project analysis. This is part 2 of Hudson Place.
Yes.
So in our part 1 video, we have actually analyzed what are the real reasons that you can be looking into Hudson Place. So today we are going more into identifying the sweet spot units and also the floor plan analysis.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get started into the part 2 content. We're going to share a little bit more on the project information, and more importantly,
Identifying the sweet spot unit.
Okay, and another thing that we also want to address the concern, because in our part 1 video, we know that there's actually Qing Jian actually bought Bloomsbury and then now Hudson Place.
Correct.
So actually there are still current inventory in Bloomsbury. So the question that buyers will be asking, actually, should I buy Bloomsbury or should I buy Hudson Place if the prices are going to be very similar? Okay,
Exactly.
so we're going to look into this later on.
Yes.
Okay, so first thing first, we take a look into more detailed information of this project. Okay.
Site plan.
So this is actually the site plan. So if you look at this, right, it's actually 2 blocks over here. And the good thing about Hudson Place is that they actually try to space out the blocks so that, right, you will not be really looking directly into
Yes,
your neighbor. So
exactly.
it's probably just the corner of this. So I thought this is actually a very well thought site plan, okay? Because they
Exactly.
space out the construction, space out the building, okay? And
All will
it's-
have facing also. Some of them
correct.
pool facing,
The internal
etc.
facing.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
from here, there are some also unblocked facing as well. Yeah, so later we will also be touching about the views.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can you expect for Hudson Place?
Yes. And there's actually shops there are actually shops on the first level as well. So it's actually something that make it more convenient for owners over here, for
Yes.
residents over here. Okay, so right. So this is where Bloomsbury is, and then this is next the Hudson Place, which is upcoming. Okay, so if you look at just now I mentioned, right, these 2 blocks are spaced out. So they are also very detailed in how
Bloomsbury,
and Hudson
yes.
are also spaced out.
That is
so
the
that-
benefits of
correct.
monopolize in our
Developer
part 1.
monopolizing this
Yes,
area, correct?
exactly.
So that means to say, most of the unit, I would say that except for the corner units, if not the rest of the units, you
unblocked.
have got quite good unblocked views.
Yes.
Okay. So this is actually the diagrammatic chart. We can see that there's actually 2 buildings, right? One is actually highest at 15th story.
The other one is at
is at
23rd.
23rd story. Okay, so that's actually staggered in terms of the 2 buildings. Okay, the unit mix. 2-bedroom premium, there's actually
32%. Yeah.
105 units, all right, and which makes up 32%. 2-bedroom plus study is 78 units. So actually over here, right, is already 50%.
Yes.
Yeah, the smaller
correct.
unit, the 2 bedrooms actually form about 50% of the whole development already.
Yep.
Then we have got the 3-bedroom and 3-bedroom premium plus study making up about 21%. And then we have 4-bedroom about 20%. And we have
Penthouse.
5 units of the penthouse.
Yep.
Yeah, over here.
That today we won't be touching so much on the penthouse. Yeah.
If you
so
want the floor plan
Yes,
or
just
information,
contact us.
just get in touch with us. Okay, so that's actually the unit mix. Okay, so this is where we are right now, because just now I mentioned there's actually shops on first floor. That's
Yep.
the reason why on the master plan is actually zoned as the pink, which is same as Bloomsbury, because Blooms has got a few shops as well.
Yes.
Okay, so so what will happen is that later we're going to show you the view over here. This is actually the West
Set
Estate. The
Landed.
low-rise landed.
Yeah, correct.
But on the master plan, right, it's actually subject to detailed planning. Okay. So as of now, if let's say you get the higher floors for either Blooms or Hudson Place, right, you are potentially looking into the landed area and it's actually very unblocked.
Yes.
Yeah. But just take note that this plot of land is still subject to detailed planning. Okay.
Which-
then the other facing, right, is actually the Infinite Studio. Is actually a commercial building.
Yep.
Okay. Let us take a look at the views
Views.
first. Okay. Maybe we'll go straight into this. So just now, as we mentioned, right, these are the low-rise, the Resale estate,
Yes.
low-rise landed area. So units over here, this is for Bloomsbury, this is for Hudson Place, overlooking the low-rise landed.
Yep.
Okay. Then next we have got the other side, the other side of the view, which is more towards the commercial buildings lah. Yeah. So definitely you need to have a certain level in order to clear it. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, then this is also the estimate unblocked view, about 7-story and above, over the Infinite Studio. Okay. Okay, so this is so much for the view. More interesting part is the sweet spot unit in Hudson Place.
Yes. I think we need to first understand what is the unique selling point of
Correct.
this greater one north area, then we can then identify this and also the pricing strategy and how is it going to perform in the resale market in the future. We have also done some research that is very important to take note in terms of the numbers that we are going to share later on.
So first of all, what do you think is the USP for Hudson Place?
Rental
Rental,
yield.
yes.
A lot of my buyers buy into this area mainly for rental.
Because of how government has pumped in terms of the resources, in terms of the even the money spent into this area to develop this whole greater one north.
Okay,
Yeah.
so having said that, right, actually if you know this area, if you talk about in terms of rentability wise, Dover or even this area, this one north area has actually hold a very high rental yield all this while, right? And if you talk about the like the previous part one that we mentioned, one north residents, last time the rental yield was one bedroom was at what 3,008 or something like that.
Correct.
Yes, back in like 10, 20 years ago. Yeah, so it's one of the highest in terms of rental yield.
So because of the greater one north, we are attracting a lot of new business startup in
Exactly.
this area. Yeah, but how is it? So for CBD, the rental is also very high. The rental is very high. But then we also have a lot of developments over there.
Yes.
Yeah. But for the greater one north, as of now, we don't have that much of supply. Even for the past few launches, right, the number of units in the developments are actually relatively on a smaller scale.
Smaller scale, yeah,
So that's
correct.
the reason why the rental yield for developments over here are still at very attractive rental
Yes,
yield.
correct.
So the USP in Hudson Place in Greater One North is
Rentability of the area.
and the rental yield.
Yes,
Okay?
correct.
So now we want to identify the developer's pricing strategy. Okay, but before that, before we identify the developer pricing strategy, we want to understand the behavior of the resale units in Greater One North. So we are using this example, One North Eden.
Yep.
Okay, so if you look at this, right, very interestingly, we can see that for bigger units in One North Eden, we are looking at a 4-bedroom and 3-bedroom. The per square foot transacted is about 2.1 to 2.3 per square foot.
Yes.
Okay, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. But if you look at the 1 and 2 bedroom over here, 1 and 2 bedroom, we are looking at transactions as high as 2.4 each per square foot, higher per square foot. And buyers
In the
Greater
resale
One-
market,
correct.
yes.
And buyers in this one-off area, they are able to accept a higher per square foot in this area as compared to the bigger units.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're talking about a $200 to $300 PSF in terms of difference in the resale market, only because the rentability in this area is high. So a lot of people or a lot of investors can accept the higher PSF for the smaller units.
Because the rental yield is still very attractive.
Yes.
All right. Then we want to understand, but how about the new homes developer pricing strategy? So as much as we have Hudson Place indicative price already, but we also want to look at Bloomsbury because anyway, it's from the same developer. If you look at Bloomsbury pricing strategy, right, over here, we can see that a lot of the smaller 2-bedroom or even the smaller 3-bedroom, we are looking at per square foot of 2.3-ish per square foot transacted. Okay? And then, but when we look at the bigger units, 4-bedroom, 2007. 6-bedroom, 2007. 4-bedroom, 2697, almost 2007.
Yep.
4-bedroom at 2007. So 4-bedroom, bigger unit, 4-bedroom, 2007. But smaller unit is actually at 2003.
2-3 plus.
2.4.
Yeah, correct.
This is actually very contradicting to how the performance of the resale market just now when we compare this one of Eden.
So in terms of new wise, when you purchase, the PSF difference is about $200 to $300 for the big bedrooms at 2.7 and the smaller bedrooms at 2.3. But when you perform in the resale market, the $200 to $300 becomes the smaller bedroom instead.
Correct.
Yes.
So meaning to say, the USP in this area is the smaller unit. So today, because we already know the Hudson indicative price, and they're adopting the same pricing strategy,
Yes.
which is to load on the unit type, which is
That is the first one,
bigger,
right? Yes.
the bigger unit, which is the 4-bedroom units,
Exactly.
the big units. Okay. So today, if you say you're buying Hudson Place, a 2-bedroom unit, right, at 2004. But a 4-room is at 2007. So you can see that over here is a $300 gap. But in the resale market, this 300, you're buying $300 cheaper, but in the resale market, you
You can
potentially
perform.
perform another $300 higher
Yeah.
in the resale market compared to the 4-bedroom unit. Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely in this area, the USP is getting the small units because of the rentability.
Yes, correct. So having said that, we mentioned that 3 is something that is worth considering, is something that is safe because in the resale market, we will be able to garner a higher transacted PSF compared to the 4-bedroom, correct? But if you look closely into the chart again, there are 2 bedrooms at 2.7. 2.7. So that means to say that there are some walk-away price that we have to consider also.
For Hudson Place.
Yes, correct. So this also has to be very important and price sensitive in terms of what are the price that you are buying into for Hudson Place 2-bedroom. Yes.
Okay, so that is actually the developer pricing strategy and also the sweet spot. Okay, so this is something again that we want to highlight. Hudson is actually adopting the same pricing strategy as Bloomsbury,
Yes.
which we see that the 2-bedroom is starting from 2002, and then the 3-bedroom is actually at 2003. As the unit gets bigger,
It becomes
the per square
2004,
foot gets
etc.
higher.
Yep.
Yeah, so the 4-bedroom is actually at 2004-ish.
This also clearly tells us that which are the unit types to go for, basically for this area.
Yeah. So the sweet spot is definitely the smaller unit. This is our contact. If you are still not so sure about which is the unit type that you can be looking into for Hudson Place or what is the price that you can be considering, do feel free to get in touch with us.
Yes. Okay. Well, but we are also saying that not the big bedrooms cannot buy. We will also touch on it in our layout analysis, whether what is the correct price to enter into for Hudson Place for the big bedrooms.
Okay, so next,
Quickly, we run through
the layout. Okay, 2-bedroom layout. Okay, so for 2-bedroom premium,
646.
we actually have 646, but we have B1, B1A, B,
B1,
C, and D.
yes.
They are all having the same area at 646. If you look clearly at the different layout, right? The 4 layout, right? Actually, I would say there's not much significant difference.
Yes.
Except that over here, maybe there's one protruding pillar.
Yep.
Yeah, the way that the facade is lah. So all these are all the facade ma. Yeah. So it's basically because of all this, that's why they have got different floor plan.
Yep.
Yeah. But actually the area in terms of the internal area at 646 is actually all the same.
The layout's not bad because it's tuck kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah. And then dumbbell layout with 2
Coming with a
baths.
tuck kitchen over
yes,
here. And
correct.
then dumbbell, 2-bedroom. Yeah. Okay, so that's
Overall,
for,
and then you have a proper dining area.
yes.
Okay,
So that's
next.
for 2-bedroom premium.
Yep.
Then we come to 2-bedroom premium plus study.
This
Okay,
one got difference. This one got difference.
yeah. So this one, okay, one of it is actually stack
B2.
1, which is over here. All right, this is actually the external facing over here. And then this is actually the internal facing. So type B2 is actually the internal facing.
Yes.
Okay, if you were to look at the floor plan 6892 plus study, the first one, okay, the main difference is actually the study area.
A space versus a proper study.
Same area,
Yes.
but how the study is positioned,
Placement, the
is
placement of the
different.
study.
So for type B2, you come in, you have a study over here, starry.
Study space.
You come in, you have a study space over here, but it's more of like together with the dining space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't notice, you won't notice the study space.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
basically.
You have a bigger dining space but you don't get a proper study
space.
But the other one is really a tuck aside study.
Yep.
So actually for 649, I'm not too sure. You may even want to just consider the 646 as a 2+.
Plus the B2 one, the kitchen is also slightly different, right?
Okay, this one you get a deeper kitchen. This
Yeah,
one is
correct.
more like a squarish kitchen. Because you have more space for the study,
Yeah.
that's why the kitchen gets compromised.
Yes, correct.
So our choice for 2-bedroom, we will prefer the 646.
Yes.
Because we talk so much about the rental yield and rentability in our part 1 of the video, and definitely getting the smallest unit does makes more sense for rental yield.
Yes.
So it's actually the 646 square feet layout.
Yep.
Okay. And then this is actually just the different stacks our recommendation.
Yes.
Okay. Next, 3-bedroom. Okay, so for 3-bedroom, the smallest unit is actually from 893 square feet, which is again over here. So the layout is pretty decent, just that you have a a bit more space at the foyer, but some of the buyers actually do like this for additional storage space.
Privacy also.
Yes, correct. So you come in, you have a tuck-side kitchen, living, dining, and then
Comes with window also, the
Yes,
kitchen.
correct.
Yeah, which is good.
So it's a enclosed, really an enclosed kitchen.
Yep.
Slightly smaller because of the size of 893,
Yes.
but it's still very decent. And then you get 3 bedrooms. Okay.
Yep, and they have a study alcove. So like a space like a space indent into, yeah.
Can. You do
Yeah.
a study table.
Yeah, I think
built
can.
in. I think it's okay. At least you have additional space over there. Okay, then next size is actually at 1012 and 1023 square feet. All right, and there is actually 2 different layouts. So the different facing, one is over here, one is over here. All right, and then but if you look at the layout, it's actually pretty much the same. So
only
it's only the
foyer area. Correct.
because of the additional 10 square feet. It's only over here. The rest of it, you come in. So for the bigger units of 1,000 over square feet, right, it comes with an additional bomb shelter and also the helpers WC area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Essential. Yep.
So that's for the difference between the small and the big unit of
Yes.
the 3-bedroom. Next, we have 3-bedroom plus study at much bigger size at 1055. All right. And then this one is actually at stack 12. Okay. This comes with the proper study over here.
Yes.
So that is one main difference. And also the dry kitchen area.
Yep.
So this one has got a longish kitchen with a yard and a home shelter, similar to the 1012 and 1023, but you have additional dry kitchen area. Okay? And also the study area.
Yep. Correct.
So that's for 105.
Okay, so our top choice for Hudson's Place 3-bedroom will be the 893 square feet, because if we compare it to Bloomsbury highest transacted for today, it's already at 2.334 at the 904 square feet. And if you look at both the layout, right, it's actually almost similar.
Correct.
Yeah, and Hudson Place being with a bigger study alcove compared to 904 of Bloomsbury. So that means Bloomsbury has already done 2334. So if you compare both of the layouts, right, it's actually similar, right? So if let's say we take 2334 divided by 893, is also about 26 PSF, right? So that means if we get anything lower than that or in a sweet spot pricing, it's definitely something worth considering.
Yeah. Okay, so that's for the 3-bedroom. Okay, so
Again, commercial time,
yeah.
please feel free to contact us. And if you like what we have shared, please like our channel as it means a lot to us.
Okay, next move on to the 4-bedroom layout.
Yeah, 4-bedroom
Okay.
is very important because it's something that a lot of buyers might be thinking, hey, Bloomsbury 4-bedroom is not moving. So Hudson Place 4-bedroom can buy or not? Huh?
Because Bloomsbury has got existing stock for 4-bedroom.
Exactly.
Today, if I'm looking at 4-bedroom, I will have this concern. 4-bedroom haven't finished selling. And can I still buy into Hudson 4-bedroom?
Yeah, with the inventory, so much inventory in the location. Yeah.
So we want to also understand, who are the buyers for 4-bedroom?
Yes.
And what is their purchase behavior?
Next, we will be using a few examples of how bigger units perform actually in each of the developments. So we will be using, number one is Tembusu Grand. So Tembusu Grand is D15, launched in 2023, TOP in 2026 January. So if you look right
Early
from
this
from the start of the launch time, they only sold 1 unit. Yeah, and then it was all straight line, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? Yeah, all the way till here. That we saw actually a lot of units move 9, then we have 12 units.
And this was end of last.
So next it will be another example that also in D15, Grand Diamond, which is fully sold now, launched in 2024. It will TOP in 2027.
Next year.
Yes.
Early next year.
Correct. So if we look again, right, during the launch time, they also only sold about 6. And then after that, stagnant all the way, maybe 1 unit, and then 0, 0, 0, right? But if we look closely, 2025, they start to sell quite a bit. 11 units, 6, 8.
Consistent sales every
Exactly.
month. Right?
One will be Clavon, which is in D5. So clearly you see that D15, D5 also perform the same way.
Not just the east behavior.
Correct.
Actually, the west, right? It could be very similar behavior
Exactly.
as well.
So in Clavon, launched in 2020, TOP in 2024. So now we see 2020 they sold 5 units. And then again, it's stagnant all the way, 1 or 2 units, right? And then closer to the TOP date, 8 units. Then of course we have 2 units, 3 units, constant sale, 5 units over here.
Yeah.
Then we can clearly see that, why big units only move nearer to TOP.
So the thing is that today, if I am a buyer looking at the big units of 4-bedroom,
Yes.
I would say that a high percentage of all these clientele, right, will be getting the big units for own stay. So there is two options. Firstly, if I were to buy at the earlier stage of the launch, right, I will probably need to either sell or pay an ABSD for it.
Yes.
Right, because of the additional buyer stamp duty for second property,
Yep.
Yeah. So if I were to sell my property,
Where am I going to stay?
yes.
Yeah. So there is a lot of concerns about a lot of buyers, because if I want to move a family of 5 or 6 people for 4-bedroom, normally
Correct.
it will be this case, right? So they will have to rent somewhere, I guess.
Yes. So what we were trying to say is that for the bigger units, for 4 and 5-bedroom units, right, they are actually usually purchased for own stay purpose, not so much of investment.
Correct.
So if today I'm going to move my family, so if I buy a 4-bedroom, quite unlikely I have a small family. It's usually a bigger size family.
Correct.
So if I were to buy in the initial launch, I will need to sell and I will need to rent and I need to move my whole big family into a rental place.
And the rental might be higher
correct.
also.
Yes, because of the bigger family, my rental will be high. And most of us will feel that it is quite a hassle to move my kids and my parents or whoever, right, into a rental place.
Yes.
So that's the reason why they are more likely to wait till when the project is nearer TOP, then they will come into the development.
Yes.
Yeah. And because if they do not sell their property, it means that we will have to pay ABSD. For big units of 20% ABSD is quite a hefty sum.
Yes.
Yeah. So
for
this is
sure.
something which actually this is something that will actually stop them into buying at the initial launch of the initial stage of the launch.
Yes.
So the thing is that once they have sold, they will have more choices to choose from the limited options. So when I know that I want to sell, I will be looking into projects that is nearing TOP.
Exactly.
Because I may be able to time in such a way that I may not even have to do a rental and to get my keys quite immediately and move into the unit. So that's the reason why the 3 case study that we have shown, right, we can see a significant increase in terms of the take-up rate for the big units when the project is Condo TOP.
Really shows us the movements for the big bedrooms, why only move nearer to TOP. Because most of the buyers, like for this profile, right, they will want to sell and buy at the same time with all the reasons that we have shared earlier. Yeah, so it's one swap one.
Yeah. So coming back to the question that we posed earlier, if I'm getting a 4-bedroom unit, should I buy Bloomsbury, which has got existing inventory, or should I go into Hudson as a brand new launch?
So if let's say I am buying for own stay, obviously I will buy Bloomsbury. If that's the
Because
case.
it's going to TOP earlier than
Nearer
Hudson, right?
Yeah, the faster TOP dates.
Yeah.
Right? But of course, if I were to buy into for investment, then of course I will consider Hudson Place.
Why is that so?
Because if I were to buy into Hudson Place, number one, I may have an opportunity to get at a lower PSF. Number two is that because of the progressive payment, the foundation might kick in later, the installment might kick in later. So which is, in terms of ROE wise, it makes more sense basically.
And you are actually paying lesser interest. And one more reason for me to look into Hudson Place for investment is because of the later TOP date. So I
Yes.
may not even need to rent out and I
Yep.
can actually sell once my seller's stamp duty of 4 years is up.
Correct. So if let's say for investment point of view, if I want to really consider, then I'll consider Hudson Place. Because if I were to consider Bloomsbury, the TOP date might be earlier and then my SSD is not up yet. That means I will have to rent maybe about 1 to 2 years.
1 to 2 years,
Yeah, correct. So rental wise, in terms of who you rent to, etc., you cannot guarantee the condition of the unit after that.
That's true,
Yeah.
yes.
So better if you were to consider, you really can consider Hudson Place.
For investment.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so last but not least, we want to also quickly run through the layout of the 4-bedroom.
Yes.
The smallest unit of the 4-bedroom is actually 1152 square feet. All right, actually, nowadays, this is a very decent size for 4-bedroom compact because they want to keep the quantum very small, low and affordable.
Yes.
Okay, so these are the 1152 is more of the internal facing. Decent layout. Quite conventional. We have the living and dining space, and then this is also similar to the 1055 3-bedroom, whereby you have a dry kitchen area,
Yep.
a longer kitchen, bomb shelter, and also a helper's WC area. Then we have got the 4 rooms, 4 bedroom.
Yes, so with a dry kitchen as well. So meaning to say, right, actually it's actually similar to the 3 bedroom. Yeah, it's just with 1 more bedroom extra.
Correct.
Yeah.
And usually for the compact 4 bedroom, you'll be 1 bathroom lesser lah. That's the reason why you have a dual access over here. So these 3 common rooms will share this 1 common bathroom.
Yes.
Okay, so that's for 4 bedroom premium 1152. Next, we have the 4 bedroom suite plus flexi at 1432 square feet. Okay, so this one again, we have got 2 different facing. One is facing external, right, towards the unblocked view. One is actually the internal view.
Yes.
Okay, so for these 2 layout, I would say that again, they are pretty much the same.
Comes with private lift.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is actually the private lift, and then this is your lift lobby area, foyer area. And then this is actually, you come out, you'll be facing towards the flexi area.
Yep.
So you actually have a living and flexi. So what you can do is that you can actually, if you do not need the flexi, right, if you hack down this wall, you can have a very wide
Frontage. Yes.
for your living area.
Yeah. That will differentiate you from the premium also.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is actually quite a nice layout. I actually quite kind of like this because you have a good depth.
Yes.
So this is your living and this is your dining, a separation. You have a
Yep.
depth here, but yet you can potentially make this into a wide frontage living.
Exactly. And then the dining area, you can put up to 8-seater. Yeah.
Quite a very
So
spacious,
yes.
quite spacious dining
Correct.
area. So this is where you have your master and your 3 bedroom sharing this common bathroom.
Yes.
Okay, so similar for the other type D.
Okay, so that's all for part 2 for Hudson Place. So if you are thinking of a 4 bedroom with the existing inventory, which one is really worth considering in terms of investment or in terms of own stay? What is your considerations? You can ping us or WhatsApp us. We're happy to share more with you.
So if you're looking at this part 2 of our video, we will also want to share that we actually have a part 1 of the analysis that we actually share with you what are the true reasons why you should be looking into Hudson Place.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all for our part 2 of the video. Thanks for watching, and we hope that all this information has helped you in your better decision making if you're looking into Hudson Place.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in our next analysis video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.